How you going? Got another Freightliner Argosy. This one, I'm moving the steering wheel again. This one's an aftermarket wheel. Same thing as if you've seen my video before. Remove the button. Disconnect your spade terminals. I'm going to disconnect them down this end. Just remember I'm only using one hand because I'm recording, so be a bit forgiving for me for the camera work here. Just putting it over there. Got the same tools as last time. The 1/2 inch ratchet with the 1¼ inch socket on the end, deep socket. Steering wheel puller tools, and I think the rest are down somewhere around here. Yeah, there's the tools, and these are the bolts I used on the last one because it's actually the same day, but these are too big for the aftermarket wheel. And you can see I actually used 2 bolts and I welded them together. I made sure they were straight, but because they didn't have bolts that long. These ones are Imperial. That's going to go in there. These are Imperial bolts, and they fit in there. They're a different size on the aftermarket wheel. So just double check that the thread starts and everything by hand. And I think the thread's actually a bit damaged in there. It looks a bit manky. But what we'll do is I might get a tap and die, and I'm going to clean those inner threads up, because why not? So I went and got my tap and die set, and my torch is dead. I'll be back. So yeah, this is my tap and die set. Just quick little flex on this thing here. It's good, but not great. You don't, honestly, if you can't really justify it, but I prefer a different kit with bigger size threads and stuff. These are just to keep everything together. This is the tap and die kit here. Taps and dies. And I'm gonna select the right one for the hole, and then tap it out, clean out the thread, and keep going. Okay, so a quick way to identify a thread to the tap is just to match the threads up. I got one hand, so it's a bit tricky for me here, guys, but you basically, I'm not going to be able to do this easy. Just match them. Oh my god. I can't really show you with one hand here, but anyway. Have to edit that out. You match up, make sure that the teeth mesh together. I can't do it with one hand. It's too bloody hard. Not a professional YouTuber. Oh, I just broke something. Oh. Whoops. Alright, and to start the tapping, you slip it in there, and you just start it like normal. And because these are specially designed to cut thread, it'll find where it needs to go if you put it in straight. That's the best thing, is to just put it in as straight as you can. And sometimes when the threads are so damaged they won't want to go, but this is getting in there, it's getting started. And over here in my kit I've got this thing, which is good. That's what you put over the end of that square drive. The square drive on the tap. Just give me a moment to set that up. Cool, so that's been set up, and now we just gently clean up that thread in there. So I'll move my torch so you can see a bit better. Just turning it very gently. And what you can do is you go back and forth a bit, and that really helps it to dig it out. It's working its way in there. So I think it might have just been the start of the thread that was damaged, possibly from being pulled off before. It's got this on there, so this steering wheel's obviously been off before. It's an aftermarket wheel, so it's an old truck. This truck is actually currently having a rebuild done, and I'm stealing this steering wheel to go onto the other truck. A bit of backwards, a bit of forwards, working that tap all the way down, and it feels like it's bottomed out now. I feel like when it gets tight in your fingers. So I'm happy with that. I'll take it out and I'll tap the next one. So now I'm just tapping this other one that I was just talking about. What's going on? See, it's just going in nice and smooth. It's just basically cleaning up. This thread wasn't completely destroyed, but it definitely wasn't going in smooth with the bolt. So I will make it smooth. And I'll get you in a sec. So now that I've cleaned up those threads in there, my bolt goes in so smooth, like butter. It's done exactly what it needs to do. Feels good. You just check that. And it's good to do things like this where it's a bit small, or always start things hand tight. Like, you don't want to just rattle gun stuff up straight away. Yeah, they're both going great. Excuse my dirty fingers, that's part of the job. And I'll set up the steering wheel puller after I take this nut off. Hopefully it's not too tight. So lucky me, a nut that wasn't that loose at all. I just cracked it off, and then because the bar's so big, it's just a bit easier for me to use my finger in there. Undo that nut. And sometimes what I usually try and do just before I set the puller up, is just try and yank that steering wheel off straight away. Sometimes I've been lucky in the past, it's come off, but I think that was a rare occasion, but it's worth a shot. Just want to make sure you get those out of there. Just remember, I'm doing this all one-handed, which I wouldn't usually do. Put the nut down in the pile. I like to put things on the floor because it can't fall further than the floor. I'm going to try and yank this off just with my hands. I'll see if I can set this up again. Alright, that's as good as this is going to be set up. We'll see if we're lucky this time. Oh, look at that. It's coming straight off. I'm smacking it evenly on both sides. Boom. I didn't see the camera move, but look at that. I didn't even need to pull it this time. Just came straight off. And I suspected that it might have, because the nut was loose. If that nut's tight, that steering wheel will be on there really tight. But I did that with my hands. These bare hands. Alright, if you got any questions or anything in the comments, you learned anything again, just mention it. Like and subscribe, that'd be great. Keep me motivated to post some videos, and let me know what you want to see me do, and if an opportunity comes up, I'll make sure I try and record it.